Good evening. It's 6 o'clock on Monday, February 6, 2017. Welcome and thank you for joining us tonight for the English edition of ORN News, where we bring you today's top stories translated into English every weeknight. The OSCE Ambassador to Albania, Bernd Borchardt, held a meeting with students of the University of Arts where he mentioned democratic elections, cannabis, the judicial reform, and respect for human rights as some of the challenges Albania will face. The OSCE ambassador considers cannabis as the greatest threat of the last 25 years and said that the government needs to implement a comprehensive national plan to combat against cannabis planting. The OSCE ambassador said, "There are many challenges you will face. Elections are coming and they are the first step to a better future. You will make your choice. You may be tempted to sell your vote, to photograph your vote in order to prove that you voted for the, quote, right people. Unquote. You are the ones that will choose the democracy you want to live in, so please make the right choice. We support Albania's electoral reform. We will give our advice on the best practices. Our colleagues from the OSCE ODIHR will come to monitor the elections, but in the end, you will decide." Borchardt said that Albania has undergone some dramatic changes, with the spread of cannabis being the most dangerous, and appealed for a national anti-cannabis plan to be implemented, saying, "Albania has gone through dramatic changes in the last 25 years, and one of the most dangerous for the future is the further spread of cannabis in the country. Cannabis harms society and future generations. We all need to make the right choice, but especially the young people. Albania's OSCE monitors will support the government in its efforts to implement a comprehensive plan to combat cannabis," said Borchardt. The OSCE ambassador said that art and culture in Albania are also facing some challenges, and he urged artists to break away from the pitfalls of politics and address the issues important to art. For the first time, Prime Minister Rama commented on the accusations exchanged between the U.S. Ambassador Donald Liu and the Prosecutor General Adriatic Lala. During a meeting today, the Prime Minister stated that the judicial reform and the vetting law are part of the fight against corruption for everyone, not just some. The judicial reform is a fundamental reform that will be realized through vetting. The vetting process is not for me, not for the U.S. Ambassador, nor for the Prosecutor General or any other one person. It is for the common people of this country, who will finally be liberated from corrupt judges and prosecutors," declared the Prime Minister. He held the meeting today for the beneficiaries of the mitigating schemes applied by the power distribution operator for the needy, where he also announced the project for automated meter reading. Automated meter reading will be applied all around Albania within this year. As the Minister of Energy said, "We are working towards energy meters being read 4 times a year instead of every month," said the Prime Minister. Who considers the energy reform to be successful? The Prime Minister added that if the government had pardoned the arrears, the energy reform would have failed. Just like the U.S. Embassy, the EU delegation to Albania and the Ombudsman have also reached out to all qualified Albanian citizens in the country or abroad to apply to serve on the vetting commissions. The application deadlines are on the Ombudsman's website. Meanwhile, the Ombudsman has extended the official time for civil society members to submit their application for members of the Supreme Judicial Council and the Supreme Prosecutions Council, allowing the civil society organizations and people who want to be part of the judicial reform process enough time to apply. The Ombudsman offices will stay open from 8:30 in the morning until 8:30 in the evening, and the last day to apply is Wednesday, February 8th. The Ombudsman is asking civil society to become part of the judicial reform process. A few days ago, the U.S. Ambassador called on civil society to apply to serve on the vetting commission and vowed that the U.S. is determined to see the implementation of the judicial reform through. Judges and experts are expected to come from the European Union and the United States, who together with members of the vetting commission will review the data of Constitutional Court members, with all prosecutors and judges undergoing the vetting process. The Minister of Foreign Affairs, Ilir Bushati, was present at the Parliamentary Foreign Commission, where he explained Albania's vote against eliminating nuclear weapons in the NATO alliance. Bushati said the vote was changed at the request of the U.S. and France. The United States and France, both nuclear powers, stepped up their efforts to their close allies, but also to other countries, to secure more abstentions and votes against. We promised the American and French partners that Albania will vote against. Albania's vote against, as you said, is reflected in the UN documents, said Bushati. The minister also explained his visit to Iran, a country that does not have good relations with the U.S., saying that the Iranians have expressed interest in cooperating with Albania. Speaking about his visit to Iran, a country with poor relations with our partners, the minister said that he raised the issue of Kosovo there, as Iran has influence in 3 other states such as Iraq, Lebanon, and Syria. At first, we should begin to take our relationship from stagnation to test the willingness of the other parties and compare the expectations of the parties in order to open concrete paths towards cooperation. We also signed a cooperation protocol that is one of the most classical protocols. We are exploring the visa regime, declared the Minister of Foreign Affairs. Democratic Party Chairman Lulzam Basha held a meeting today with some young people of the Democratic Branch number 2. After the meeting with the youth, the DP chairman said that the government has persecuted its citizens and that this is the time for citizens to take the fate of the country into their hands. The DP chairman invited citizens to join the February 18th protest and warned of a scenario like that of the protest in Romania. The DP chairman said that the citizens should rise up and bring corruption and crime to an end and guarantee free and honest elections. According to the DP chairman, the February 18th protest of the Democratic Party is the beginning of a new wave of popular protests. There is no corrupt government that can handle the citizens and youth when they protest. We saw the protest in Romania. Now it's Albania's turn to rise up against unemployment, poverty, against collapsed health systems, against an education system which is in its worst days, against youth discrimination. Criminals are becoming MPs and mayors. They are becoming rich, while the youth and intellectuals have no other choice than to leave the country. This must come to an end, and this is up to the youth. Let us rise together on February 18th. Tirana's youth is ready. I call on the young people, wherever they are, to join our protest, declared the DP chairman, adding that the protests will bring change to Albania. When asked whether he was ready to meet with the Prime Minister, driven by the statement of the European Parliament member Edward Kukan, who asked for the parties to sit and discuss the electoral reform and reach an agreement, the DP chairman had this to say. The corrupt and incriminated do not want an agreement for the good of citizens. They want Albania as it is so that they can steal. The corrupt politicians will receive the citizens' answer starting February 18th in Tirana and all around Albania. This is the beginning of a movement to change the fate of this country once and for all, bringing the corrupt republic to an end, declared Basha. The Democratic Party is organizing a protest for February 18th, asking for free and honest elections after the refusal to apply electronic voting and counting, a condition set by the DP. The chairman of the Socialist Movement for Integration, Ilir Meta, participated at the electoral convention in Administrative Unit number 6 in Tirana. Speaking before the party's structures, the SMI chairman said that a harsh political rhetoric is being heard these last 26 years. Mr. Meta emphasized that the progress is secure when cooperation is based on clear priorities. According to the SMI chairman, people want to hear solutions to their problems. Progress is secure when there is cooperation, when work is based on clear priorities. I think this philosophy will continue to bring success in the future as well, declared the SMI chairman. Mr. Meta spoke of the Socialist Movement for Integration young counselors at Tirana City Hall, considering them a model of inspiration for their peers, calling them to stay in their country to build the future. Together, we are stronger and more powerful, declared the SMI chairman. That's all for our English edition this evening. Please join us again Monday through Saturday at 6 p.m. for your local news in English. My name is Mari, and on behalf of Aura News, thank you and good night.